Hello and welcome, my name is Ansu and today I want to do my August TBR. This is a pretty hefty list. I did end up reading a bunch of books in July, so I wanted to definitely read a lot in August. I saw this thing floating around where some of my booktuber pals had actually done this, where Elise actually read 31 books in 31 days, which is amazing. I personally can never do that, so I'm planning to read 15 books in 31 days. That's also probably impossible, but we're going to try. We're going to try our best. My main goal is to try to get in as many books for my physical TBR, which is going to be a task of its own, but I have a bunch of books that I'm very interested in, at least right now, that I'd like to get to. So let's talk about them. First two I'm actually in the middle of, so I'm just going to talk about them, get them out of the way, and then we can move on. The first one is Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. I have actually finished quite a bit of this book. I think I finished a little over half of it, and I'm physically reading this only. I don't have an audiobook for this, so this is only like a nighttime read, but I've been really into the story right now. This falls around Spencer, and she's actually kind of in a very different world than she was in Skyward, which is the first book. She's trying to help her planet out, all the humans out, and that's kind of the story in this one. I don't really want to spoil too much about what's going on in this one so that you might not be spoiled for the first book, but I feel like Spencer has grown as a character so much more in this book, and I'm really liking it, but it's definitely a different set of characters, which I did not expect, and I don't know how I feel about them. They're good characters, but I personally really enjoyed seeing a little more of some of the characters from the first book, but yeah, they're still not bad characters or anything, but it's just a whole different story now. That's why I'm just a little thrown off guard, but it's good. I'm really enjoying it, so I'm really hoping to finish this in the first couple of days itself, so really excited for this one. Next one I have been reading for like 2 years, so it's about time that I finish it. It is called Nevermoor, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is a middle-grade fantasy, essentially following around this character called Morgan Crow, who is cursed. It is told that on her 11th birthday at Eventide, which is an event, I guess, she's going to die. She's basically blamed for all the bad luck that's happening in her society that she's living in. Everyone blames her for everything. Even when it's definitely not her fault, everyone just blames her continuously. So Morgan is just really tired of hearing everything, so it literally, if anything goes wrong, if there's no rain, people blame her. If their crop dies, they blame her. If someone gets hit or something, they blame her. Everything is blamed on her. But a few hours before she turned 11 on Eventide, she is whisked away into this land called Nevermoor, which is essentially this very magical place. There's a bunch of trials that she has to get through, and she's trying to, basically end up living by the end of things. It's supposed to be a very interesting and fun story. Everyone loves this book and the series. I have read about 90 pages right now. And I don't know, I've been on this for so long, I just have to get this done. This is like next up on the list. I really have to get to this. I'm not a huge fan of middle grade, that's probably why I'm not getting into it that much, but I don't know. I just put myself through the situations and I have the book, so I just definitely want to get to it. Next up, another very popular book that I want to get to is Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. I've heard wonderful things about this for so long that I haven't gotten to it. Is just such a shame. This one I actually don't know that much about. I think there's this character called Frances who spends her time studying and making fan art for her favorite podcast called Universe City. And Aled is known to be a very smart and quiet kid, but no one really knows that he's actually the creator of Universe City, and he goes by the name Radio Silence online. When Frances actually gets a message from Radio Silence to collaborate with him, everything changes for Frances. But when Aled's identity is revealed, Frances expects that Universe City and their friendship is at risk. I'm really not sure what to expect from this book, but it's definitely something that I've had on my radar for a really long time, and I just need to get to it. So I think this is the month that is going to happen, so very excited for it. Next book I want to get to is The Kingdom of Fat by Marie Lu. This is just a single book that I have to get to. It's about 300 pages. It's not super long. This essentially follows around Mozart's sister. They live in this age where the girls are not allowed to play or compose music after they're married or after they hit their marriageable age and whatnot. They're not supposed to be playing and composing any longer. Mozart's sister almost hits that age, and she's such a talented musician, but Mozart, the guy, essentially gets all the fame and stuff because he's also a very talented musician. Obviously, Nannerl is very upset. She wants to compose music because that's truly her dream and everything. But one day, this magical human thing came up to her and has the ability to change her life completely. But his help might come at a cost. At everything in Nano's life, she has to make a decision, all that kind of jazz. It sounds like a really fun book, and I got this like last month. Yeah, definitely I'm very excited to get to this one. I've heard nothing but good things about this, so I'm very excited. Next up, I'm reading all the popular books. It's about time that I read Red Rising by Piers Brown. Not a huge fan of sci-fi if you didn't know, so that's why I'm like really hesitant. But then I've heard that it's not like really hardcore sci-fi, so that makes me feel a lot better. Such a beloved book. I don't know much about it, but on the back it says, his wife taken, his people enslaved, driven by a longing for justice and the memory of lost love, Darrow will stop at nothing to bring down his enemies, even if he must become one of them to do so. He really just wants to get justice. It sounds like a very fun read, an interesting one. I'm excited to get to this one, but I just don't know how long it's gonna take me. Also, this author has piercing eyes. Like, damn. He's staring into my soul. The final book I have on this list is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I have had this book for years, and I actually heard Reagan from Peruse Project saying that she actually read it a bunch of years ago and really enjoyed it. She's going to read it in August. That's when I thought, I actually have this book on my shelf. I need to get to it. So I think I'm going to give it a shot. I haven't read anything by Samantha Shannon, so I don't know what to expect of her writing style, of what this world is even about. Like, I literally don't know anything. But I know that we are in like a futuristic world in 2059. Paige, our main character, is working for the criminal underworld. She is a dream walker, and her job is to essentially scout for information and break into these people's dreams, I guess. There's also another side where people with Paige's abilities are treated in a different manner for some reason, and they have another task, I guess, of what Paige should do, or Paige's people should do. I believe it's just following around her as a character, and we're trying to figure out if she's going to get into a lot of trouble and whatnot. So it sounds like a really fun read, and I think I really enjoy it. So super excited for this one. We're looking forward to getting to this as well. Alright, guys, those are all the books that I'm going to talk about. They're definitely going to be a lot more. Like I said, I want to try and read 15 books. They're all pretty chunky, so we'll see if that ever happens. I tend to not read graphic novels or mangas or anything like that, so this is going to be a task. We'll see how far I get through this. I'm very positive that this is going to work out, so we'll see. I'll keep you all posted. I'm planning to do like a vlog. We'll see. I tend to always fail at vlogs, but I'll definitely try my best. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Ansu. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified every single time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time with another one. Until then, I'll talk to you all in the comments. Bye!